I was planning on recording a different video today after having a break from making YouTube videos for a few months, but then I saw this video in the subscription feed. Yeah. Oh, and I'm also wearing glasses now, so better get used to that. But yeah, when I saw the video, at first I wasn't sure if I want to watch it, but then the curiosity killed the cat, as they say. And also quite funny, I was today stung by a bumblebee, which was less than an hour before I saw that video. Weird. So yeah, I watched the video and I decided to make a response to it because there are quite some things I really disagree with, and yeah, let's make it clear. I'm not going to unsubscribe from the Wally Bumblebee, since I am subscribed to a lot of people with which I rarely agree with, although with her it's different. Normally I agreed with her, but this video is quite over the place to say the least. Since her video is 30 minutes long, I'm going to use clips of her video for some parts and make a short summary for others, because otherwise this video would be like an hour long, and let's be honest, who would watch a 60-minute video of three people talking all over each other? So yeah, not to mention a lot of the video is nitpicking. So I'm going to use summaries for that. So let's begin. The video is titled "This Shit is Why I Don't Call Myself an Anti-Feminist." I also don't consider myself an anti-feminist, although I often criticize feminism on the internet. The reason is because there are different types of feminism and feminists, and yeah, I disagree with some of them. I agree with others. That's why I don't call myself an anti-feminist, because then I would have to disagree with every single form of feminism, in my opinion. But since I don't have a problem with some, I agree with some, and I really cannot stand some types of feminism, yeah, that's why I don't consider myself an anti-feminist. I especially don't like radical and intersectional feminism, for example. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, let's start with the video. The main problem with Wally Bumblebee's video is that this video consists mainly of nitpicking and twisting sentences around, which simply doesn't go anywhere. I really don't like this wishy-washy crap, because what you're saying lacks strength, because everyone can twist someone's words around.
I have a new favorite type of YouTube video that I've been binge watching for the past few months because something really weird has happened. The SJW feminist PC culture movement has been getting feedback on the internet and they can't handle it.
Well, to be fair, most people can't handle constructive criticism, but most of the feedback that feminists and SJWs are getting on the internet is not constructive criticism and feedback.
What those feminists and SJWs receive is feedback. The quality of the feedback is a different story, but getting a response is feedback. It can be positive, people can praise you, or it can be negative. People can criticize you and give valid criticism, or they can bash you and call you an idiot. All of that is feedback. Granted, it would have been a way better place if everybody would be giving out constructive criticism, but they simply don't. And I don't agree with saying that those feminists don't receive constructive criticisms, because they do. Along with everything else, people are different and they respond differently. That basically sums up my problem with Woolly Bumblebee's video. Yeah.
Anyway, this week we're going to be taking a look at the SJW feminist PC culture, specifically on YouTube. Now, I'm going to try not to dwell too...
Wait, did you just say dwelve? It's dwell, not dwelve. It's not dwell and 12 put together. It's dwell. Just for reference next time you use the word.
Like probably everybody has guessed so far, English is not my first language, so in case I mispronounce something, then just point it out. Although I would have preferred if you don't respond to me like you're talking to a child. Please.
Too much into the actual movement itself. I'm going to save that for another video, hopefully. What I want to shed some light on is the backlash that this regressive left movement has gotten on YouTube and how they're handling it.
Okay, fair enough.
This pushback within the YouTube community has taken the form of bears, Akkadian emperors, elks, people with beards, and people with soothing British accents. Or the Meninist movement. Here's a little secret. It's not a real thing. Yes, there are men's rights activists, but they don't call themselves Meninists. Meninists was a joke. Whilst I don't entirely agree that we need such a movement and that
Well, you just said previously, a few seconds ago, that it's not a real thing. So, it's not a movement, is it? So, there isn't a need for something that isn't a real thing.
Woolly Bumblebee is correct here when she's responding to him, talking about how he just starts to talk about men's rights activists and MGTOWs when he was just talking about Meninism. However, it contains a lot of nitpicking. Just because somebody words something poorly doesn't mean that their entire argument should be dismissed. He did say basically that Meninism is a joke, but before that he said that they are actual men's rights activists, and after that he started describing men's rights activists. It was really obnoxious listening to 5 minutes of nitpicking because of that. I'll skip this part because it continues for a while and going back and forth about how he didn't mention that he started talking about MGTOWs and MRAs because like I could make a longer video, but what's the point of making a 5-minute longer video if it adds nothing to it?
when one of these YouTubers makes a video criticizing a feminist or a beauty at any size advocate, for example, their fans go and pay that person a little visit and leaves them some feedback.
So you're saying that because those anti-feminist YouTubers made said video and linked to the original video, that their fans go to leave not so kind messages on their videos. That's interesting. It's very, very interesting.
And usually the recipients of said feedback will get upset or triggered.
Oh, please, stop using the word feedback. This isn't feedback that these people leave. This is trolling. It is out and out trolling.
It is feedback, Woolly Bumblebee. It is. The one which you are talking about doesn't have much value, but I wouldn't call it trolling since pointing out how someone did something stupid and giving a dislike on a video is hardly trolling. Not to mention that you're generalizing everyone who responds to someone on the internet. A lot of people who respond actually have valid points and say that what they think in the comment section. Those people aren't trolls. They aren't. Are you going to call me a troll because I respond to you? You're saying this like the responses only consist of comments that are all caps, angry, incredibly stupid, and poorly written ramblings. And from what I've seen, they aren't. Granted, a lot of people aren't polite, even though neither are the people they are responding to, but dismissing every negative comment as trolling is simply foolish. It won't bring you anywhere if you call everyone that says something you don't like a troll and a hater. It just shows that you can dish it out, but you can't take it.
People are not going to these feminist or SJW videos and going, your video was poorly made. May I suggest better lighting? May I suggest a better camera angle? That's feedback. That's not what they're doing, is it? Yeah, it's trolling. It's being assholes. But you're gonna admit to that in a minute.
Actually, I've seen quite a lot of people saying things like that when someone has a crappy camera or a crappy microphone. But if that's not the case and the problem of the video isn't the quality but the content in it, then people are going to respond differently. And people are also going to react differently because they will point out how people's claims aren't accurate, and they will point out their hypocrisy, and the people who made the video most of the time won't like that, since the criticism isn't aimed at, for instance, the video quality but at what the person is thinking. And yeah, that's the problem here. People's feelings get hurt. Also, a lot of time the people in said videos aren't really nice. They call others names, they say really stupid stuff, they act tough, and then people in said videos get negative feedback. And after that, they whine about haters and trolls, disable the ratings and comments. Do you see the problem here, Bumblebee? You cannot generalize the problem here because, as I already said, different people react differently. And that goes for both sides. What you're doing is basically taking all the negative responses you get and completely dismissing them because some of them were trolls. It's what Anita Sarkeesian is doing and a shitload of other people, stifling criticism.
Look, you need to understand a little something about the internet. The internet is not full of misogynists and racists and homophobes any more than the real world is.
Yeah, except that on the internet, there are trolls. And not only are there trolls, but on the internet, people tend to not think before they say things. Are you really going to go up to a random person on the street and say, nigger, 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 or retard, 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 or anything else inappropriate to an actual person on the street? No. But the internet isn't the street, is it? You're not face to face.
If getting such stupid comments is really enough that you get upset, then you seriously need help. Sorry, but such dumb comments are laughably back. I don't understand how people can get offended by them because the only reaction they get from me is laughter because they failed to offend me. They fail really miserably at it. It's like watching a B horror movie which tries hard to be scary but instead makes you laugh, like Manus the Hands of Hate. The only way something like this is offensive is if you consider them as an insult to your intelligence, because people actually thought that you would get offended over something as stupid as those comments. This reminds me of the time when a bunch of angry kids took a screenshot from my video and used MS Paint to draw dicks on me. I was laughing. I wasn't offended by that. It was so stupid that I simply couldn't be offended by it. Seriously, people need to stop getting upset over such meaningless things because they're missing out on a lot of unintentional entertainment. Seriously.
A lot of the time on the internet, there is this notice me senpai culture where people feel that it's okay to go troll other people to get the attention of the person they kind of idolize. We've seen this a million times. And the internet tends to make it so that people forget that the person on the receiving end is a human being.
If people are obnoxious, annoying, bring nothing new to the table and are just spamming, then how about blocking them? Now this is something that real life doesn't have, a block button which immediately shuts up someone. And believe me, I would pay for having the option to block certain people in real life.
If a feminist makes a video and it receives a large number of hateful or even borderline threats in the comment section, then there's probably a reason for that.
What? So because someone said something that someone else doesn't like, it's okay to threaten them? Or borderline threaten them?
Okay, I'm going to skip this part because it consists of a few minutes of twisting around words. The problem with what is considered a borderline threat is that most of the time they aren't real threats. Some people take them as threats, others don't. That's what the word borderline means. The line is not clear, and what some people consider as an actual threat on the internet varies. From the stuff that I got on YouTube so far, I think that borderline threats, basically what could be borderline threats is comments like, I hope your house burns down, I want to see you beaten up, I hope that someone will punch you in the face, I want to see you burn in hell, and a shitload of other comments that I got over the last few years on YouTube. Some people dismiss such crap, others take it seriously. I think that your experience with feminists should tell you that they really like to make a mountain out of a molehill. He also isn't saying that people should threat someone because they don't agree with them, but that people shouldn't get upset over stupid random negative comments on the internet. You cannot choose what kind of comments you get on YouTube. You simply get them and then that's it. It can be quite a problem if a person gets butthurt and offended about everything that's negative. YouTube is not the right place for such people. Basically, nothing on the internet is a good place for them, except for closed groups.
In case you hadn't noticed, it's kind of what makes the internet so great.
If you're like 12 and you enjoy trolling people and borderline threatening them, maybe.
Maybe the internet is great because people can say whatever they want. They can choose to say anonymous. A great thing for both sides, actually, when you think about it. And they can talk about certain stuff which you can't talk about real life. It has its ups and downs, just like everything else. And please, Wooly Bumblebee, stop nitpicking and mentioning the same thing over and over again. He said borderline threat once and you said it's countless times for several other things that he mentioned and you failed to respond. You choose to dismiss that and just repeat the same stuff for everything he said. We get it. There's no point to mention the same thing like 12 times in a row.
Perhaps the issue may lie in what you're saying. Maybe have another look at your video.
Or perhaps the issue may lie in what you're saying. If you are borderline threatening people, there's something wrong with you. You didn't agree with someone and you felt it necessary to borderline threaten them. Who's the one with the problem?
He's not threatening anyone. He gave an example of what you can get when you get a negative response. I am really tempted to sing a certain song from Frozen right now, even though I hate it.
If you really do feel unsafe or threatened by these comments, and I don't believe most of you do, by the way, I think...
Well, your thinking, your thoughts, such as they are, aren't relevant. Doesn't matter. Sorry.
Then why are you taking your time out of the day to make a 30-minute response if his thoughts don't matter and they aren't relevant even in the slightest? What kind of stupid smug response is this supposed to be? Not to mention that you once again failed to address what he said. How would you like it if somebody else took your video, made a commentary, and instead of addressing your points, just said, this doesn't matter, this doesn't matter, this doesn't matter? I'm pretty sure you would make a response and be quite pissed about it.
that it's just quite fashionable to be a victim nowadays, but regardless, if you really do, then you don't really know how the internet works.
Or maybe you just don't understand people. Maybe you don't understand how to be civilized, or how to empathize, or how to be a decent human being. Maybe that's your problem, and not the problem of the person making the video.
Are you seriously going to go there? He's uncivilized and not a decent human being because he feels differently about mean internet comments? Okay. You're starting to remind me of a certain Jenny.
These internet trolls, or haters, as you so often like to label them, find it funny. They're trying to get a reaction from you. They're trying to be overly ridiculous and offensive in order to be heard.
Well, thank you. I'm so happy someone finally admitted that people like Sargon and Teal Deer and Thunderfoot and all them are fucking children. They're trolls. They're children. And all they want is to get a rise out of someone. Bravo.
Okay, you will fool McDerpmott here. What did Sargon, Tildir, and Thunderfoot have got to do with what he said? Where is this coming from? What kind of relevance do they have to what he said? He's talking about certain fans of them, not them personally. And how are they children? I'm quite sure that those three aren't having regular flame wars in the comment sections of random videos that feminists made. They make video responses to them, not stupid YouTube comments. And from what I've seen, they aren't really that offensive in their videos. Well, they aren't offensive, only a fool would think that they are offensive. So yeah, I don't really get what you're trying to say here.
They're trying to attract attention that they may not get in their everyday lives.
Oh God. Oh no. They don't get enough attention in their daily lives, so they have to go borderline threaten people on the internet. Really?
I think his argument is quite big about the not getting enough attention part. As of Wally Bumblebee, I think you lost the plot of the video completely now.
I'm willing to bet that a lot of them maybe are on the autistic scale. Maybe they have poor social lives. Now,
God, dude. If I were like an anti-feminist, because not an anti-feminist, I would be really insulted by this video. Because not only have you just said that these people are trolls, they like to, annoy people and fucking harass them for attention, and that they like to borderline threaten people. But now you're saying they're autistic. That's fabulous, dude. I mean, Jesus Christ.
I don't agree with him. I don't call people autistic, however, this does prove that he is talking about other people, not himself, meaning that all of your responses to him supporting threatening people were kind of pointless, just saying. Okay, I'm going to skip this part of the video. It's just rambling. All I'm going to say is that he doesn't know much about autistic people. I'm actually with Walt Bumblebee on this part, and I don't agree with him that people should be dicks to others just cause their life isn't the best. It's maybe not an explanation, but people shouldn't do that. But again, different people react differently. After that comes a part where he is talking about how boys and men don't know how to react when they play online games with a woman. I don't really agree with this part either. It's true that when teenage boys play, let's say, a Call of Duty game, I think that one has a multiplayer. I almost never play multiplayer games. Don't feel like it. Never felt like it. Never felt like it. And yeah, when a girl joins such a game, they sometimes don't know how to react because most girls don't care about these games. They aren't used to that, so now it depends on the individual. Some try to be as nice as possible, others can be dicks, some can be really sleazy, some don't care about the gender of the player. Yeah, you can't really generalize this because different people react different. So Wally Bumblebee comparing what he said to basically a young boy pulling a girl's hair and hitting her is rather stupid to say the least. I know that she wasn't serious with it, but come on. I do agree that it's hypocritical of him to expect that people shouldn't have prejudice against gamers because people always have prejudice. And yeah, he also definitely has prejudice against certain people. It's basically human to have prejudice as much as we try to not have it. But yeah, after a few minutes of rambling, both sides get back on track.
Thicken up your skin, or don't expose it.
I agree. So now that I've made this video, I don't expect you or any of your followers or fans or the little trolls or whatever to come to my channel and be butthurt. Thicken your skin.
He's not saying that by thickening your skin you avoid trolls and haters, but that you simply don't get affected by them. I used to receive a lot of mean comments on a daily basis. That's like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It didn't bother me, I laughed them off and I moved on. That's what thickening your skin means. While not exposing it means that you don't put yourself out if you can't take it. He does have a valid point here. If you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen. Yeah.
Prime example, I got a comment recently that accused me of being homophobic. Yeah, because I paused at the end of a sentence.
Really? You were accused of being homophobic? I can't imagine why. Maybe you'll prove to us that you're not a raging homophobe.
I happened to be debating the possibility that the person in this first-person view shot right here was a woman. But then I quickly realized that it's a lot more likely that it would be a man, because men are generally more gross, and when they masturbate, you know, the camera... Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I was thinking about killing all gay people, granted, but that doesn't give you the right.
God. Yeah, he's not homophobic, people. Nothing to see here. Move on. Kill all gay people. I was just thinking about killing all gay people. Yeah. Oh, God.
He made a fucking joke. What are you trying to say? I'm sorry, that's not homophobic.
Or I was just weighing the different possibilities in my head and thinking in general, because that's kind of what I do on this channel.
I don't think you know what thinking even means, if this video is any indication of that.
Thinking is the action of using your mind to produce ideas, decisions, memories, and so on. At least according to the dictionary. So I do think that what he's doing is thinking. I also do think that he should rather use scripts instead of making videos impromptu, but yeah. People often don't form the strongest opinions when they have to talk on the spot. And yeah, this kind of shows in his video. So yes, he's definitely thinking, you just don't agree with him.
Conclusion being, chill out, okay? Just calm down. Stop looking to be offended at everything you see.
Conclusion is, I'm homophobic. I don't like gay people. I was thinking of killing them. But yeah, I don't want to hear you call me a homophobe, so just calm down. Go away. Stop being offended by me being a raging homophobic asshole.
Making a joke about a ridiculous accusation and saying I want to kill all gay people in an ironic way is not homophobia. It's not something that he said seriously. It was an ironic comment. Okay. Please tell me that this is satire, because you started to sound like the people you used to make fun of on your channel. Seriously.
Oh my Christ, dude. You have no idea how ironic you are, do you? It's fucking priceless.
I think that being ironic was the intention of his comment, because he was responding to a ridiculous comment that he received. Just saying.
But don't be gay.
But don't be gay. I hate gays. I was thinking of killing them. But don't get offended. Remember, I'm possibly autistic and I don't know how to interact with other people.
The cringe is real. But the good thing is that we are finally moving on with something else in this video. Oh boy.
Now here's something ironic. The far left likes to preach tolerance and acceptance and non-violence, safe spaces, all that. You know, I'm stop wasting my breath, just watch the video. welcome. A lot of these clips were taken from rallies and events. Oh god, you just stop. Rallies and events organised by conservatives such as Milo Yiannopoulos. When these events actually happen, because in the UK that's not always a granted. For example, in Manchester, Milo was banned from debating freedom of speech with his feminist opponent. Do they not see the irony?
I don't know. Does Sargon not see the irony in his wanting to suspend social justice courses? I don't know. You tell me.
What's Sargon got to do with this? He isn't even mentioned. I know that you and Sargon don't get along at all, and I know about Sargon's petition, which you openly criticized, but it has no relation to what he's saying. Did you run out of responses? Sorry, it comes across like this. If you respond with something that's not related to what is being discussed in the video, it's like I would start to randomly play Anita Sarkeesian's UN speech in the middle of the video. Because. What? Just what?
But in the US, where amendments protect speakers from censorship, the events and rallies are poisoned by spoilt, rude, fucking childish students who think they deserve special treatment.
Well, I thought you said before that we need to consider, that these people may have a mental illness or they might be autistic, something that prompts them to act like assholes. Because if we have to give consideration to one group, we have to give it to the other. Do you not see how that works yet?
As it was already mentioned at the beginning of the video, there's a difference between real life and the internet. An open event versus a YouTube comment section, yep, totally the same thing. Those speeches are for several people at a time. This isn't a video where you can just pause it, people go there to listen to someone. So if a bunch of morons is screaming there and using air horns, they are ruining it for everybody there. And you cannot just magically make them disappear with a block button. You're comparing apples and oranges here. Not to mention that I have yet to see a speech from the opposite side getting this kind of treatment on such a scale as Milo's speeches do get.
They won't hear the other side. They walk into these events yelling slurs. Sometimes they bring blowhorns. They paint themselves red. It's despicable.
Dude, have you ever been to a hockey game?
So you're saying that hockey games and Milo's speeches are the same thing? Sure, and apple juice and Tabasco sauce is also the same thing then. Totally.
It's something that really... I don't get upset by things on the internet, mostly. I never really do get upset. I mean, I have a bloody YouTube channel where people call me fake and gay. Look, this is something that really pisses me off. It makes me lose hope in humanity. And you might think I'm getting a bit overdramatic about this, but
I don't know why you're losing hope in humanity because the other side is doing what you said your side does. Yeah, you're being overly dramatic. You're also stupid.
Because mean comments are the same thing as painting your face with fake period blood, screaming like a banshee, and blowing air horns to silence the speakers at an event. Yeah, clearly he's the one making stupid statements here.
But I just cannot believe that somebody that's, 18, 19, 20 would think that it's okay to walk into an event and scream at talkers and stop them from expressing their opinion.
Why? Why can't you understand this? Why do you find it hard to believe? I mean, they're going into other people's comment sections and borderline threatening people. But why is this so hard to believe? Why does this make you so mad? Yeah, think about that.
That's probably because, unlike with YouTube comments, the ones who are raging at the events are adults and not angry teenagers. And again, public events and YouTube comments are not the same thing. Someone typing all caps in the comment section is not the same thing as blowing an air horn. It won't silence you unless, I don't know, they start doing black magic and your camera all of a sudden starts sounding like an air horn every time you turn it on. Uh, I really don't see how those angry comments can silence anyone and prevent anyone from making videos unless they simply cannot take them, and but that's their personal decision. That's the response after you make video. Well, in the speeches you get interrupted during the speech and you cannot finish it. Do you see the difference here?
They are so ironically against free speech, it makes me fucking cringe. I really hate this.
And yet you can't see the irony of you seeing the irony there. It's amazing. It really is fucking amazing.
The big difference is that those feminists get a backlash once they said stupid stuff and no one is preventing them from continuing making videos, but basically themselves. If they decide to stop because people didn't like what they said, then that's their decision. It simply is their decision. That's hardly the same thing as a speech where people screaming and using air horns to interrupt you, are preventing you from basically doing what you want. It's like you would try to make a video and, I don't know, 6 toddlers would start to scream around you every time you try to say a sentence. It's the same thing when you think about it.
Ironically, they seem to think that they are the most privileged of all because they're allowed to interrupt people and stop people from talking.
Again, irony, you missed it. Zoom over your head. Dude, stop talking.
Mean comments are hardly going to interrupt anyone from making a YouTube video. Once again.
If they really believe that these speakers that come and talk at their universities are actually full of shit, they'd let them talk.
I agree. So why did Sargon make that petition again? I'm just asking. And did you sign it?
First of all, this has nothing to do with Sargon's petition. Secondly, not everyone who is criticizing feminism is going to sign Sargon's petition. Why are you bringing this up? It's not even mentioned in the video. Seriously, stop it.
They wouldn't even go to the event. They let them talk and embarrass themselves.
Oh no, we can't have that. We can't have bad ideas out there infecting and indoctrinating people. That's what they're trying to prevent, right? Right?
For those of you who don't know, her comment is related to Sargon's petition, which is not even mentioned in the original video, as I already said a few times. Yeah. You know, Wally Bumblebee. You once said that not every feminist is the same and that people shouldn't throw all of them together, and yet you are now doing this to everybody who's criticizing feminism.
But such as in any dictatorship, these talks and these conservatives and people with different opinions are a threat to their ideology and they feel the need to attack them.
Sargon's petition? Anyone? Anyone? Like, seriously? Anyone?
And what's even more worrying is I don't think they know they're doing it.
Bingo! And when you tell them they adamantly refuse to listen. Right? Right.
Not everyone is the same. Not everyone is the same. Not everyone is the same.
Take this news story, for example, that came out on Sunday. The largest anti-hate group in France, the Jewish Students' Union UEJF, the anti-SOS Racism Campaign and SOS Homophobia... God, why do all these groups have such complicated names?
They're not complicated names. You just don't know how to read. Sorry.
Anyway, long story short, they plan to sue Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube for failing to take down posts that were misogynistic, racist, that kind of stuff. According to them, they found 586 items which were racist, anti-Semitic, negationist, homophobic, or condoned terrorism or crimes against humanity, posted between the 31st of March and May 10th. Is that it? Oh, and by the way, negationist is when you say the Holocaust never happened, in case you didn't know. It's a crime in France. You can be arrested for that. If you look for racist or homophobic comments on the internet, you're going to find them. Hell, I'm sure there are a few in this comment section right now. Why? Because there are shitty people out there, just like there are in the real world.
Yes, there are shitty people in the real world. It's amazing. And you know what? Some of them show up at Milo Talks. But you don't like those shitty people. You only like the shitty people on your side. The trolls. that are borderline threatening people. Those are the ones we have to give empathy and consideration to, not the other ones. Just the ones that fit your narrative.
Again, Milo events and the YouTube comment section are not the same thing. I'm getting tired of repeating myself. The closest you can get basically with what happens at Milo's events is when people get butthurt on YouTube, get a group of people together, and they start to massively false flag videos in a desperate attempt to get those videos removed or the accounts suspended. Now that's comparable. Not stupid comments under the video.
That's horrible. We have to stop them. Oh yeah, let's just take rights away from people who don't deserve it.
Again, Sargon's petition? I mean, I'm just saying, like, yeah.
Maybe you should have picked a video that's about the petition, cause this is like making a response to Tilder and saying stuff that Blair White said in her video as a rebuttal. Just saying.
You know, let's throw the baby out with the bathwater. Let's just cut everyone's head off because a few people are dickheads. Okay, I'm being a little silly, but you know what I mean. I mean, what is going to be perceived as homophobic or racist? Where do we draw the line?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe, like, you should go die fag. I was thinking of killing all gay people. Let's murder all the gays. Let's murder all the niggers. Niggers should go die. They should go jump off a cliff. You should all burn yourself. I don't know. Like, I've got, like, tons of them if you want. That's just a start.
First of all, maybe you should repair your irony detector and stop using ironic comments as an example of hate speech. Secondly, you're drawing the line there, but you already should know that social justice warriors take offense more easily. Remember your gender dysphoria video? I'm pretty damn sure that a lot of them would get really offended by your hate speech there. If social justice warriors start deciding on what is hate speech and not, then you get a snowball effect because they take offense at everything. Seriously. They will find something offensive about everything and want to ban that thing for no good reason other than it's bad because it doesn't go well with me. It hurt my fifis.
Maybe I've said some things that aren't 100% PC. Hell, I'm sure I have. What, am I going to be taken down now? Am I going to be censored?
No, I actually, in all honesty, I don't think you should. Because sunlight is the best disinfectant. And if people see you saying the dumb, fucking hypocritical shit that you've said here in this video and laugh at your ass like I have, that's cool with me. I'm fine with it.
Judging by his comment section and the like-dislike ratio, that's not going to happen.
This is an incredibly slippery slope, and it's one I'm so scared we're going to go down.
I'm so scared we're gonna go down it, because if we do, that means I can't go and be a troll and borderline threaten people.
You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round, right round.
Something we have to avoid, and the anti-feminist SJW movement, and dare I say it, Donald Trump, Milo Yiannopoulos, these are people that are on the other side of it, fighting against it.
Really? Like, seriously? Those are your champions? That's it. We're fucked.
Finally, I agree with Bully Bumblebee again. Sort of. Milo is fun. Trump, on the other hand, well, he's better than Hillary. But then again, syphilis is also better than AIDS.
And this isn't an isolated incident. There are a scary amount of reports of people being arrested and censored for no good reason.
A scary amount. You put 2 examples. I'm just saying. That's... it's a scary amount!
There have been way more cases which you definitely already know about, and already 2 is way too much because people are basically being arrested for thought crimes. No, just no. I hate that this is happening. Mainly because, yeah, my country used to be under a communist regime, and I'm getting tired of people being arrested or getting in trouble because they think something that they shouldn't think of. Maybe it's because of that.
Anyway, so third wave feminist SJW, fat acceptance movement, whatever. You guys, this counterculture movement is not being hateful or attacking you.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's just filled with autistic trolls who want to borderline threaten you. Yeah, that's it. It's okay.
Stop generalizing. Not everyone is the same. You're using just a bunch of people to silence everyone you don't like.
Fuck off, cunt. Just fuck right off.
Well, most of the time it isn't anyway. They do try and make it funny.
And some of them do. And others, not quite so much.
Sometimes it responds to you by being even more ridiculous than you are because they find you ridiculous. Milo Yiannopoulos, he's a provocateur. He's a kind of an internet troll.
Again, thank you for saying that Milo Yiannopoulos is an internet troll. Or kind of an internet troll. Yeah, in other words, he shouldn't be taken seriously because he just wants to get a rise out of the opposition. He's a child. Thank you. Thank you.
When it comes to Milo, he says plenty of things that are ironic and aren't meant to be taken seriously, as well as actual stuff that's backed up with evidence. Milo joking around on the internet and saying fun stuff on Twitter is hardly comparable to his speeches, even though he also does include humor in them.
He says ridiculous things in response to how ridiculous the far left is. He had a poll on his Twitter that asked people if they would rather their child had feminism or cancer. People voted for cancer.
You see why no one takes you people seriously? If you'd rather your child have cancer than feminism, you're fucked in the head.
Or maybe, just maybe, the poll was ironic and people voted ironically and had a blast at seeing others getting offended by a stupid Twitter poll. That's not meant to be taken seriously at all. It's like making a poll, would you get a blowjob by A. Hillary Clinton or B. a Blendtec blender? Why do I need to explain such stuff?
Maybe take this all into consideration. Maybe look at it as a mirror of yourself.
Do you own a mirror? Should I buy you a mirror? Because maybe you need to look in the mirror?
Maybe take a look at what you're saying and just chill out.
Irony alert! Again.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who needs a mirror the most of all?
It's an open exchange of ideas. That's what the internet's all about. That's what makes it so great. That's why we've advanced so much, in my opinion.
Well, some of us have advanced while others have sort of fallen backwards on the evolutionary timeline. I'm just saying.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the smuggest one of all?
I just hope that we can recognize that and not go around censoring everything.
Well, I hope that people can grow up and stop being trolls and stop pretending that we need to consider every problem they might have because they're a special snowflake and that's why they can go around threatening people on the internet that they don't agree with. Just saying.
Oh, don't mind me, I'm just picking out the bad ones out of this whole bunch here. And yeah, after I'm done, I'm going to ignore the good ones, and I'm going to use the bad ones here, and I'm going to use them as proof that the person who sold me this sold me garbage, and maybe I am going to get a refund.
I'm scared that more and more laws, legislation, things that actually matter and have an impact are being influenced by this regressive left idea of thinking.
And I'm afraid of more stupid laws being enacted because people like you can't control yourselves on the fucking internet.
You remind me a lot of my primary school teacher here. Every time a student made her angry, she punished the entire class. Lovely memories.
And more laws are going to be passed that are going to censor people, that are going to limit what people can say, what people can think.
Look, free speech has never been absolute. What you want is not free speech. You want to be free from consequences from being a douchebag. It doesn't work like that.
Freedom of speech is a fundamental human right that's being trodden all over by feminists and the regressive left in the name of feelings.
And it's being fucked up by people like you who are absolute idiots and can't control yourselves for 5 fucking seconds on the internet.
Freedom of speech is not about controlling yourself. That's called self-censorship, where you need to control yourself and, not say stuff that other people don't want to hear. And using troll comments to justify self-censorship is just pitiful. It simply is pitiful.
The war on third wave feminist culture is an essential one to keep balance within our society. The very thing that makes us great is being trampled on. It's being attacked, and thank God somebody's there to try and defend it.
Do you see why I don't call myself an anti-feminist? Because this is because of this. Just, yeah.
Well, I also don't call myself an anti-feminist, and I don't agree with you in this video at all. Mind blown. This video is such a waste of time. You dismiss all of his points by using stuff that he already is acknowledging. He said feminism is a joke and men's rights activists exist, granted not in a smooth way, but there was absolutely no need to drag this for 5 minutes. I'm sorry, but 5 minutes of nitpicking over him not wording something correctly. What? And he also acknowledges internet trolls, and you are behaving like he wants that everyone is going out of their way to insult other people with borderline threats. What? This is not how you used to do videos, Bumblebee, and I'm not talking here about bashing feminists or anti-feminists. This video is simply poorly thought through, consists mostly out of nitpicking and strawmanning like, is this supposed to be satire or a social experiment? Cause if it is, you totally got me and also most of your subscribers then. Well, I hope I won't get blocked for making this video. And let's see if she's going to keep her comment sections open in the next following months. Because I don't like how this is turning out to be. I really don't. I'm a little bit worried. And I need to get a drink. It's freaking hot in here.